it's starting to be exciting that this is the key to them playing finals this year. They need to win away from home. 7-0 and 7-5 away from home. I like them at Marvel, though. I think that's a good sign for them.
Yeah, no pressure, Dimo. They haven't won away in 12 months, Jono. And a big watch on the King boys tonight. So we've got a couple of twins up against each other. Let's head to the bounce of the ball for the first quarter.
The bounce slightly sideways. Marshall slapped it forward. Noah Anderson picked it up with great skill. And then that is that new interpretation. Paddy Dow sweated on him. He's come up with a play. Max King on a strong lead. Look at the athletic spoil from behind. McAndrew just spiked it out of there. Back to Anderson. Ainsworth on the outside. And this is Ben King. Jed Walter, the deepest forward. Decides instead to Flanders, but a little too tall. Jack Higgins looked up. It was a smart kick to Butler, because the Suns were well stacked back in defence. Had a short one on to Max King, and that has been turned over to Flanders.
Yeah, Henry got out the bag. That kick just needed more elevation. Had to get as far over the top as he could, even erring on the side of letting Henry run onto the footy. Instead, turnover, and now they've got to defend and try and lock it in.
Flanders to Ballard to Collins, the #1 long kicking team in the competition. The Gold Coast, and Collins went long to the wing.
St.Kilda. Stand!
Kick Jimmy Webster. Nicely weighted kick finds Windhager, doing such an important role in the midfield for the Saints. Goes to the most damaging midfielder. Big fist came from Ballard. Ball spills into space. Steele tracks it. Rail tracks him. Wanganeen-Milera with some class. And he finds Higgins.
Exactly right, and it's the class to think through the situation. We talked about his ball use and how important it is for St Kilda. They want the ball in his hands, and he just thought through this situation so well. Didn't rush the decision, realised that there was players on, and then just lowered his eyes and found the target. Really smart play.
16-10 this season, Jack Higgins. This to get the Saints off to a bright start. First three inside 50s of the game go the way of the Saints. And they get some reward on the scoreboard through Jack Higgins. Averages almost 3 goals a game against the Suns. He's made a great start tonight.
Terrific start by the Saints. We all thought Windhagen might have been going to Noah Anderson. Campbell Brown on the boundary. I reckon Ross Lyons called your bluff. He's changed it. He's got him to Took Miller.
He certainly has, and that's probably why I never win in poker, but that's a smart move. Anderson or Miller are the driving forces through that midfield, so either or you need a tag.
Thanks, Brownie. Paddy Dow sends the Saints forward again. Flanders went right after it. Henry worked off it. Marshall's worked hard to get the centre-half forward, but that will be thrown up in that centre-half forward region.
And that's meant that there's Steele and Rowell in the match-up there, so the two of them going head-to-head.
Some really eye-watering matchups everywhere. Henry's kick is an awkward one for Max King. It's a matchup we're looking forward to as well. McAndrew onto him. Membry's handball back to Henry, and Rowell, who's tackling specialist. In fact, he was the quickest player ever to 500 tackles, Joe, a couple of weeks ago. It took him 72 games. Went past Jack Steele at 74.
All Saints early. Spoiled off the boot of Moyle. Higgins ran over the top of it. Dow keeps it alive. Miller pitches it away from Henry. Gold Coasters need to get it out of the defensive zone. And they will through Lukosius.
It's a good kick by Miller. He had nothing on. Just changed the angle, found Lukosius.
He goes laterally to Sexton. Another like Flanders who's been repurposed in the back half to good effect. Searching kick to half forward. Moyle in the middle of that pack. Battle at the front. Front and centre was Rowell. Humphrey gathers it in. Sweeps a handball. Ballard. A change of direction here from Gold Coast. They know the Saints are set up behind the ball. This is Hewland. He drives it towards the top of the square. Moyle in there again. That's what the Saints do well, get numbers back. This is Battle.
Strong defensive mark from Josh Battle. Heads out the Windhager direction. That's the matchup on Tuke Miller. Head-to-head steal. Wants to find Bradley Hill. Picked it up with the one hand. It's a clever kick. Well done, Moyle. Not away of free kicks, but the intensity and the effort was something that will please Damien Hardwick. Collins has read this better than anyone else. It was almost like a leading forward coming out and taking a big mark.
It's what they sweat on. They want turnovers, the Suns, and get the ball moving quickly, but St Kilda are able to scramble well defensively, set up the ground, just slow them up here.
Suns have only won 4 first quarters this season and none on the road. What have you made of their energy levels in the first 5.5 minutes, Job?
No, really good. In the style in which the game's been played is more of a St Kilda style, slower, forcing the Suns to kick and long. They're not able to get handball chains going, and they're not playing with any speed. So I think Ross Lyon will be really happy with how this game looks so far.
Clark will go short to Webster. From Damien's perspective, Lingy, what do you think he's seeing in the first 5.5?
Well, he's not seeing that ball flow getting going yet, and I know he probably doesn't want too many people talking about their away record and everything like that, but if the Saints can almost make this 0-0 at quarter time, it's not the end of the world just to put doubt back into the mind of the Gold Coast Suns.
Wanganeen-Milera finds Windhager and they pick their way through this zone. Hill has it 55 from goal. He'll now go to the pocket. Well done, Collins. Gets across again. Earns himself a free kick in the process for being flipped high.
And the game and the ball is living in St Kilda's forward half, which is what they would want to see. And really good play by Collins just to fill that hole. But 5-1 inside 50s for the Saints, forcing the Suns to defend, and real bravery there.
Sam Collins shanked that kick. It's now a real important 50-50 ball. Miller, Rao and one-arm pin. He's fighting hard to try and get a handball out, which eventually did. No Anderson. Big contest to win there. Hunter Clark was a 1.5 metre kick, landed with Owens. His snap is going to bounce at right angles and register the first behind of the evening.
And what Ross Lyon has obviously planned for tonight is to not let Gold Coast bring that pressure at them. So they're kicking the ball a lot. 22 kicks, 3 handballs for the Saints to this point. So they don't want to give that extra handball and invite that Gold Coast pressure and create that turnover and get their game going.
It's going to be a very tactical game. Yeah. Already seeing that.
The less the ball is live, you feel like it suits the Saints, isn't it? This is how they want the Suns to be moving the ball.
Anderson. Long to the wing. Wilkie came over the top. The Koshas tried to slap it to advantage. Rao feeds it back to Ballard. Stubs the kick. Well done, Flanders. Made it good. Sexton needs a bounce and we'll get one. And then gets a free kick downfield. Won't matter because the kick was perfect to Berry. So no speed on it yet for Gold Coast. Can they manufacture something here?
This will be a good challenge for the Suns. Can they just work themselves into this game, understanding that it's not necessarily the way in which they want to play at the moment, but get the ball going forward and work from there.
Closey now takes the long kick down the line, which the Saints have successfully forced them into on a number of occasions, and every time they've come away with it. This time it's Webster.
Get a little handball over the top. Caminiti under some pressure. Collins has been resolute in defence as always. Jeffrey now. Eyes off of target through the corridor. Here's Bailey Humphrey coming through long, played it well. Releases the handball immediately to Fiorini. Now they've got the man out. A chance for Ainsworth. Takes the space. Runs to 45. And Battle got there with a millimetre to spare. Or did he?
They're going to review it. That's hard, isn't it? Because the Saints wanted to counter-attack and start
off. Yeah,
using the foot. Start mark before crossing the goal line. Score review. Umpire's calls on mark. Please confirm.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball's controlled before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
So a clear mark won't be overruled. And as you said, Lingy, now it really has slowed down the Saints, who are on the rebound.
It's a battle from the defensive goal square.
Play on!
Howard back to battle. Wood goes up, takes the grab, moves it on quickly. Bustling away is Higgins. Lovely delivery to King. Through the hands of Wilson. Flanders first back. Scrubby kick. It's going to come back. King. Can he get past Andrew? Releases a handball. Wood. Chips it. Caminiti. Anthony's got it, 45 from goal.
Well, again, good pressure from St Kilda. They had the ground set up. They created the forward half turnover. That's 8-2 inside 50s now. Mason Wood with the courageous and then playing on. But just the ball's living in their forward half and they're lowering their eyes, not for the first occasion tonight. And Mason Wood with a really clever kick.
So it's labour intensive to get these opportunities. Can Anthony Caminiti make the most of it? Pushes it. Still there off hands. Minor score, is it? Out of bounds.
To do some defending already, Sam Collins. This line pondering some of the alternate plans. Joe and Lingy pointed out, he's pretty comfortable the way he's set this game up so far. Here's Anderson. Class in everything that he does. Flanders wanting to release Hewland. Might have stepped out of bounds, but bound out by a good position. Lukosius ran underneath it. Battle. It's in the really good hands of Sinclair. He picks out Membry. Dropped the mark, and Collins again fighting a brilliant second effort from Collins. He has been huge.
On the ball, dragged it in. Stand.
Nothing flashy about Sam Collins, but he fights for everything.
Another touch for Hewland. Heavy workload for the Gold Coast defence early, but they're standing up. 9 inside 50s for the Saints for just 1 goal. Just 2 inside 50s for Gold Coast. Once again, they're going to be forced into a patient build-up. Closely to Ballard. Feels like the old flood.
Stand, play on.
Getting it and going is Graham. King got his hands to it. It'll get to the back. Saints have got numbers. Wilkie off to Sinclair. He'll chip it. Jeffrey gets into position and marks in front of Higgins. And he's within range.
It's much better from the Suns. They set the ground up. The entry was deeper as well, Lingy. It wasn't so shallow, where a couple of their other entries have just been more at that centre half forward position. This one came in a bit deeper, which meant that the ground was really well set up, and good positioning there from Jeffries. Just got to the outside, owned the outside, and made it difficult for the exit kick.
Generally a good kick. This will test him. Steps out from 51. Makes really nice contact. Just can't quite get it there again. Battle. Belts it over the line.
Cal Wilkie. This is 122nd consecutive game. Incredible record that is. Riley Bonner casually down the wing, but that won't be effective for Caminiti. Hewland.
I think what will frustrate Damien Hardwick at the moment is how easy those St Kilda are able to exit their back 50. Apart from that Jeffries intercept and the shot at goal there, they haven't really been able to cut any off in their forward half. At the moment, they're relying on some really great defensive effort back in their back 50 to turn it over. I think they want to be more aggressive getting the turnovers.
Yeah, they're just struggling to get some flow through this part of the ground as well. Fiorini being forced into that kick down the line that requires a contested mark. Jed Walter, exciting young talent. Anderson working overtime. Here's his great mate Rao. Mason Wood through the hands of Hunter Clark. Henry good enough to pick it up off his toes, and the Saints can reload into the hands of Jack Sinclair.
Now to Henry. Flips the handball, keeps it moving. Saints have got a couple of options. Steele to Clark, confronted, shakes Holman and delivers to 50. And finds the hit-up man again, Higgins.
That's a great example of what you're talking about pressure, Lingy. Just that broken tackle there in the middle of the ground. Just this one here, you've got to nail that tackle just so that you can turn the ball over and put pressure on.
Thought about giving it off to Bonner. Free kick in the goal square.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
You have to see it.
Apologies for the colourful language. Free kick's going to Dan Butler. Here's another look.
Time.
Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Well, he went down very easily for mine. Very easily.
Butler steps around and the Saints have the opening too. So Dan Butler, the protagonist. That's lit the fuse on Saturday Night Football. Gold Coast sharing your opinion, I'd suggest, Cameron.
Have another look at this one, Joe.
Yeah, that's not a free kick. I mean, he's gone down too easily. It's in the chest area, and we play on from there.
Just his second goal for the year. Dan Butler is playing the annoying small forward role to perfection, but
He's not the first, and he might be the last small forward to try that one, Das.
no. Fight on in the contest.
Suns have just thrown Walter into the ruck, which is a luxury to be able to do so.
Just looks like a great competitor, doesn't he, Jeff Walter, already throwing weight around. Here he is, powerfully built first-year player. Caminiti prevailed on that occasion. They had a fresh air swing. Graham was well tackled.
St.Kilda.
Midfield really applying some good early pressure still. Wants the quick kick, but Collins camps himself in a really good spot.
If it wasn't for Collins, this scoreboard could be getting away a little bit from the Suns.
Here comes Andrew. High to the wing. Again, the Saints kill the high ball. Steele at the back. Wanganeen-Milera. Owens had to be quick and was. Dow finds his boot. Too hot for Windhager. Miller to Graham to Anderson. Can he find someone on the lead? He can. Great timing from King.
So that's the Gold Coast Suns. If I think of them this year when they're playing good football, it's turning the ball over there, Joe.
Yeah.
Hard tackling through the middle of the ground. And then the turnover comes and they can all they're all off their players. They can all get involved and they can attack rather than trying to attack from deep in their defence and relying on Collins to mark the footy.
36-13 this season for Ben King. For an early settler. Always going to get there. Suns fans behind the goals went up early. Gold Coast get one against the flow. 11 inside, 50s to 4, but it's 2 goals to 1.
Just want to highlight Ben Long's multiple efforts here, and this is how you mitigate against slow starts. It's bringing the pressure. That's something that doesn't take any talent, but you talked about, Lingy, about creating a forward half turnover, and they have the weapons when they're able to supply them rather than trying to move the ball all the way from their back 50, and those forward half turnovers will be crucial for the Suns tonight.
Just puts his nose in front again, Ben King on the Coleman race. Charlie Curnow had to play in round 13, picked up by Bradley Hill. Found some space, always taken on it. Extra bit of pressure, and the Suns and now trying to feast on the back of it. Hunter Clark wants it out of there again. Collins been enormous in this first quarter. Henry, speed and skill, the outside of the boot kick. I think it was intended for Higgins. Butler picks it up, managed to walk through a tackle, and Dan Butler is going to bounce through his second goal. Showed some remarkable balance there, Dan Butler. He went to a knee and then popped back up like he was bouncing off a spring, and that was a nice return. A couple of early first quarter goals for Dan Butler.
This is why players do all the core work in the gym. Under pressure, the ability to get back to his feet and feel the second bit of pressure and still execute the skill. Superb play, Dan Butler. That is a magnificent goal. It takes a lot of strength to be able to do that.
Campbell Brown, there's some movement on the St Kilda bench.
Yeah, Dougal Howard came off the ground and went straight down the race, so I'll keep a close watch on that. He's just come back out now.
Seb Ross, the substitute, is warming up. Dougal Howard, you saw just in the back of shot there, sitting in the back of the bench, looking a little dejected. More from Brownie shortly. Owens spins out of a tackle. Penetrating kick. Collins in best position, gets a fist to it. Doesn't completely kill it. Higgins. Memory will go hunting it. Jeffrey takes him down.
Gee, the Suns are lucky that they've had Collins in this first quarter. Dougal Howard not looking good. Doesn't look like he's coming back tonight, Brownie.
He's subbed out, looks very dejected, sitting in the back row, getting consoled by his teammates, and Seb Ross will be injected into this game.
It was a frustrating year. Had a hamstring the first 5 weeks of the season. Membry. Tackled to ground by Collins.
Yeah, ground.
Haven't been a lot of stoppages in this game, just 8 clearances so far. Marshall was touched. Ballard elects to keep it alive with a sweeping handball to Jeffrey. Now to Flanders. Can he find an exit? He can.
The lead-up target in Ainsworth. Saints again really well set up down the line. Wanting this kick and wanting to turn it over. Wanganeen-Milera. Brilliant mark. Such an exciting player. Always backs. Look at that thing. Sets up the play, doesn't it?
So many options open now for the Saints because of that kick.
It's Paddy Dow. They'll be kicking it away from Sam Collins at the moment. He's on top of everything. Mitch Owens is a good ground level player. Tried a little toe poker. Caminiti, Bodie Hewlin, letting it play on. Owens with strength. Got a don't argue in. Getting back Flanders. And now it's Fiorini. That kick under pressure is going to be marked by Paddy Dow, who plays on. Not 15, the call still. The skipper's going to have to go back to Cal Wilkie, who's just out of range. Short one. Asai, Wanganeen-Milera.
He might not be out of range if he runs around late.
Leave it on. Wow.
Sees something he likes on the lead, but awake to it was Berry. Picked up beautifully by Rao. Hands it back to Berry. It goes with a torpedo heading out into the path of Fiorini. Over the top. Walter's got it. Backed his pace and speed in. Back to Fiorini. Confronted by a couple of Saints. Flicks it over the top. They're well set up again, Jack Steele. But he found some Graham pressure to Wood. Bounced off a Walter tackle. Back through the hands of Dow. And now Bonner will get through.
Sells the dummy on Berry and then hits the kick to Owens. Higgins will turn and sprint back. He's one-on-one with Collins, so he won't want to put it in the air. He'll go shorter to Max King. Will Max wind up? It's a flat kick. Bounces to the pocket. Well done, Newland, who's been busy. Pops a handball for Lukosius to run onto. Corralled by Wilson. Numbers should win. Holman down the line. It's tidy for Ainsworth. Final minute and a half of the opening term.
Well, St Kilda have owned the territory so well this quarter, 15-4 inside 50s, but they've also really denied the corridor to the Suns. They've forced them wide and made them go slow. Really good defensive job from St Kilda.
Denied stoppages as well. Ross Lyon talking about their stoppage advantage, Gold Coast. Well, you don't have one if there aren't stoppages.
Been one boundary throw-in this quarter. Amazing.
Remarkable. Sexton to Jeffrey. Again, they get numbers on the long ball. Battle. Bonner. Windhager accelerates. Ambitious kick into the middle. Good spore from Newland. It'll work for Anderson. Can Humphrey collect? Now he's got some problems. Clark wrapped up by Rao.
Big foot. Just have a look at Howard here. Pulled up quite short on that lead there from King and grabs his left hamstring. Unfortunate for him.
Moyle won an important clearance. Long, applying some forward pressure, getting back Windhager. Battle floats it out of there. It's only going to go as far as Jeffrey. We're getting some instructions from the bench that there isn't a lot of time, Jeffrey. They want to pull the trigger now and see if they can get a contested mark. Moyles got down there, made sure it was at least a contest, but the Saints' numbers through Riley Bonner. Going to clear it. Looking for Max King, and he's drawn a free kick against Charlie Ballard. There'll be no further score. Quarter time here at Marvel Stadium on a Saturday night. And that is the tale of woe. Unfortunately, Dougal Howard subbed out. He is devastated, as you would imagine. But St Kilda enjoy a 12-point lead, 3-1-19 to 1-1-7. Saturday night footy, the Saints and the Suns at Marvel Stadium.
You're watching Super Saturday on Fox.
The Saints got the jump on the Suns. Dan Butler, this was his second goal, so 2 in the first quarter. A hot start from Dan Butler and St Kilda, 12-point leaders at quarter time. Lots to discuss so far in this game. We talked about the offensive game. Jack Riewoldt of St Kilda sitting in the bottom half of the league in terms of where they rank right now offensively. We've touched on their defence, but when you get opportunities in the first quarter, as we look at this, King's got the goal for the Gold Coast Suns. I mentioned Butler and Higgins with the one. You've got to take your obviously opportunities when they present themselves.
Yeah, it is about making the most of your opportunities, Dicko. 15-7 inside 50s. The Saints are dominating the ball at the moment. It's been in their forward half. And we mentioned pre-game just about that relationship between offence and defence. And you can see it through the way that sides actually move the ball offensively. So the Saints have been really interesting. They've been a really good defensive team that's fallen away, but they've never been great at offence here. So we thought we'd pick a couple of edits from that first quarter and go through them and actually show you why why those sort of yin and yang theory of offence and defence go together. So we've got an edit here. This is a really interesting one. Wanganeen-Milera is involved in both of these edits here. Now, he gets a chance to go forward, kicks it to Windhager. Now, you can see Tim Membry's free inside 50 by himself, but this kick here actually is a defensive kick. So it goes across, but it shuts down the lane that you can kick the football into, and the only place they can kick it is to lead up there to King, who gives away a free kick. As compared to this header here, and it's Wanganeen-Milera, again, who gets the ball, looks straight inside and kicks it into Paddy Dow here. Now, on the far side of the screen, so the ball's come from the skinny side of the ground, the offensive side, the fat side's open, but have a look at how many Gold Coast numbers get bypassed by this kick inside 50 here. Now, nothing comes of offensively of that from a score, but it's just funny how you sort of look, how a team's playing. And usually the way they offend, now if you get it into the middle of the ground and kick it from sort of inside 70, inside the centre square region, you can actually get a better chance of scoring. That defensive kick that we saw in that first edit is maybe an area that the Saints do need to work on. Yes, you want to be defensively strong, but you've got to give up something to score points.
Yeah, and that's a good point you make. So have they taken their advantages enough to get a jump on the Suns, but also the connection? That's where the offence breaks down. So the connection with the forwards, they've got to get on the same page, get their isolation. And that's where Gold Coast, you know, if you can wrestle that momentum, we know what their away record's like. You've got to squash their hopes here as a home game at Marvel Stadium. So I'm looking forward to if they can...
Yeah, it's a big quarter for Gold Coast here. They haven't started well, and Dougal Howard's off, so King gets a good match-up for the Suns.
Let's head second quarter action.
At half forward, and Marcus Windhager has gone Straight to half-back onto him. Moyle guiding it down. Nicely done. Jack Steele. Kick going to be marked. The Gold Coast Suns and Sexton at half-back. Short to Flanders. Can they get some of their ball movement happening to Suns? It's been difficult. Early, this is Charlie Ballard. Sexton gets it back. Just again, the Saints compressing the ground.
Yeah, I think they're better off going forward quickly rather than going sideways and dealing with the problem forward rather than allowing the Saints to force them down the line and then taking these intercept marks. Their ball movement has to be faster than this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but they're better off taking territory than trying to find the free.
Battle to Sinclair. He goes to half forward. Andrews look to work at the front.
High contact, Gold Coast.
Picks up a free kick in the process. Mac Andrew against Max King.
Well, just to back that up, Joe, so the Gold Coast Suns normally take 21 marks a quarter because they're dynamic ball use, run, handball, use each other. They took 38 marks in that first quarter, but so many of them were those slow sideways, just trying to control the footy, playing into St Kilda's hands.
Off the hands of Marshall to Sinclair. Dow. Steele to Wanganeen-Milera. Slotting in there was Wood, and he slots the goal, but a block's been called, and it'll come back.
Liam Henry got caught. It was a really clever block, and I thought he'd sold it well enough and got away with it. Just watch here. He just stops to allow Mason Wood to take the mark, but the umpire was onto it. Just got caught.
Was it a free kick, Cameron?
Oh, it probably is there because he stepped back into his opponent. You're allowed to stop your run, but you can't step back in and shepherd in the marking contest. So, yes, it was there, but gee, it's close.
Gee, it was a smooth finish from Mason Wood. He just slid in and drilled it on the left.
Yep.
Here's Closey. Again, they're really just struggling with options, the Suns, apart from this one. Ryan Marshall this time attempting the mark. Wanganeen-Milera has gained an extra few metres just past the interchange race down there, Joe.
Yeah, Saints have done a really good job. They're almost setting a trap for the Suns. They're giving up the first one if it's wide, and then they close in so that the only way the ball can move is forward and down the same side. And the Suns have to be better and just not taking the easy nothing kick, but actually just go forward to a contest first.
It's only the second boundary throw-in for the game. It's been in play a lot. This is more along the lines of what Damien Hardwick wants. Sexton goes long. Long's been competitive, made sure it got to ground level. Jed Walter and Battle wanted the boundary line there. He's been able to disguise it well enough, and the Suns get a bit of forward half territory.
He's only had one disposal, Ben Long, but he's been their best forward so far because he's the one outlier who's actually providing a real contest and doing so with speed, and he's offering that forward pressure that they really need.
Moyle against Marshall. Wood immediately tackled by Walter.
Thank you, guys. This way. Ned. Rowan.
Marshall a tap. Windhager slams it on his boot. Owens, shoulder to shoulder. Open the door for Membry. Nice step from Dow. Tackle from Rowell just enough to affect the handball. It comes back to Paddy. Owens. Wanganeen-Milera. Evades Miller. Wood thought better of going down the line. Retreated to retain possession and finds Battle.
Jimmy Webster. Happy to go to Marshall. Advances it further to Bradley Hill. Speak pre-game about their good users, Hill and Wanganeen-Milera. Throw Seb Ross into that category as well. Trying to get more ball into the hands of the great kicks as Ross wants Membry. Andrew at the back. Butler kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Collins gave him an effective tackle. Holman can't keep it in and not unhappy about it.
Damien Hardwick talked before the game about Ross Lyon coach sides not allowed. They're taking away their strengths, and that's what they've done so effectively so far. They just haven't allowed any speed on the game, which is how the Suns want to play.
Just made this a genuine arm wrestle at the moment. Collins has had an enormous amount of work to do. Flanders didn't have a lot of options, and now some pressure. Had to get rid of it, did Closey. Can they score on the back of this? Sweeping handball from Mason Wood to Butler. They've shrugged a couple of tackles, the Saints. Inside 50 they go again, but in the way. Sexton dropped the mark. Got a handy little touch in, did Noah Anderson. Ricochets out of bounds.
I reckon it's a great point you make, Das. The number of broken tackles, strength from St Kilda, but I reckon Damien Hardwick would be really disappointed with their tackle execution from the Suns. So the Saints, they're being corralled, and then they're able to break through and break a line or two and put the Suns defenders under pressure.
Anderson nutmegs Dow. Sinclair, Owens and Wanganeen-Milera forced to the line by Sexton. Picked up by Sinclair, a flying shot. Just sneaks in for a behind.
And we talked about it before the game, about the measurement of a fast start should be the emphasis on what pressure looks like if you're the Gold Coast Suns, because that's something that you can really control. You can't necessarily control if you get the ball in your hands, but you can control how much pressure you put on.
Collins involved and in the chain. Try and come back through the corridor. Sinclair won their last two best and fairest, the last two All-Australian teams. Jack Sinclair is an idea of how good a player he has become, as Bradley Hill immediately wants to play on. Ballard's a great intercept player, had his name written all over it, Charlie Ballard. He's taken the most intercept marks in the last 3 years alongside Darcy Moore and Sam Taylor and some high-quality names. He's a high-quality player.
And the Suns players, Ross talked before the game about contest line. The Suns players, they have to get forward. They can't be just going sideways, because now St Kilda have set the trap. Now they're forcing them to go down the line.
Or take a risky kick. And that's a beauty from Sexton, and that does open things up. Collins gives it off to Flanders. He's got to run it to the outside. They've finally got a bit of overlap. Fiorini thought about the handball over the top. Had to go back to Collins, and now has to just slam it on the boot. And King's forced to spoil as a result. Sinclair, nice tap. Battle. Back to Sinclair. Now to Wilkie. And the Saints turn it around. Fiorini gets it out.
But it finally took that Sexton kick to break anything open there. So the Suns have got to look for that more.
Yeah.
The Saints are setting up perfectly. They're doing a great job tactically, as you said. They're winning the battle. But they've got to be prepared to take that kick and then that handball. And then they've got something opening. Then they've got a game that looks more like they want it to be played.
It was a beautiful kick, wasn't it? Wow. Inside 50 towards the pocket. Sinclair at the front. Takes another grab.
Releases the kick in the Riley Bonner direction, plays on. Genuinely got a beautiful penetrating left foot kick, Riley Bonner. Hits Max King wise, and again Sam Collins, disposal number 11, coming up for the full-back from the Suns.
And now on the flip side, with all the dominance, the Saints have got to be smarter with their ball use going forward. They're controlling the tempo of the game, but they can't just keep kicking it to Ballard and to Collins and giving it back to them.
Fiorini cleverly got it to McAndrew, but McAndrew sold into some trouble. Max King a fair way up the ground. Kick back into the corridor, bounces into the lap of Bonner to Henry. Not 15s to play on. Call, and he didn't hear the call, or didn't react, and Matt Rowell sweated on him.
And now the Suns forwards have to reset. They have to get deep so that they can create some space for each other.
Outside 5.
Once you hesitate here, John, the Saints can get back.
This has got to be forward.
Fiorini in the King direction. Walter came over the top. Holman couldn't control it. Miller tried to bust through.
If you don't go fast from where that Matt Rowell tackle is, all you're going to do is spend the whole game like you're in the schoolyard kicking it up to a pack of 25 people.
Yeah.
It's got to go quick from there. You see Liam Henry, he didn't realise it was no 15, but that's where the speed's got to be turned on the game from the Suns.
Rowell couldn't quite power through. Nice handball from Steele to Marshall. Off hands to Membry. He's tackled by Sexton. Caminiti's handball sold Owens into trouble. Sexton goes back and wins it, but he's got nowhere to go either.
The other way you can change the game is start getting some forward half turnovers, because then you don't necessarily need to create so much speed from your ball movement. You can actually get scores from creating pressure.
Saints on top of the clearances. You just saw the number +3 their way, and they win another one. Caminiti, good contested mark on Ballard. Back to Hill. Sizes up a Max King option, and that was just too big and strong for McAndrew on that occasion. Max King can line up for his first goal of the evening.
Much better kick to the Saints forwards there. I said just before, they can't just keep kicking it high and letting Collins and Ballard take intercept marks. Look at this kick, just gets there quicker, lower. It means King can use his body. He's got the front position, either take the mark or draw the free kick in that situation.
154 goals in his 80 games. Twin brother Ben's got 165. They're at either end of the ground tonight. Always going to be left, that one.
Flanders into play to Sexton. He has bitten off a couple of aggressive kicks. It's been a distinct intention from the Suns to try and be a little more expansive and creative. This time he's forced down the line. Walter works to the front on Marshall. King got involved as well. Windhager's handball was found by Bonner, and now he releases Wanganeen-Milera, who can hit the kick inside 50. And Higgins, 45 out. Wants to go quickly. Winds up to the open square. Tugs it left as a result.
Just touching on what you said before, Lingy, the last two inside 50 entries for St Kilda, you've got Wanganeen-Milera and Brad Hill kicking the ball in, and how much of a difference it makes to guys who can see the forwards and put it to a favoured side.
Seeing Flanders, you can just see not seeing much movement at all. And he goes down to Ben King, gave a good contest. Wanganeen-Milera cleverly to Higgins. Awkward one for everyone, but Flanders had to go back and fight for it. Furini to Miller. He's got a target out there, and Lukosius battle came in from the side. Did well to keep his feet, Lukosius. Going to try and just massage it forward. Battle second effort was strong. Hill back there. Holman and Ross. And Long, who we've been singing his praises, Ben Long, purely on the back of effort, really, and he's made an impact.
And that's what it was there, wasn't it, Daz? He came from a long way away to get across and not let St Kilda get the outnumber and just sweep the ball away. His work rate allows them to now set up in their forward half of the ground and try and get a stoppage win.
Plus 20 for contested possessions. The Saints, 48-28. Marshall bounces it towards Caminiti. Ballard looks to wrap him up. Graham takes Hill down. Ballard's handball picked off. Higgins has been creative. Clark had to be quick. Ross tries to accelerate away from Holman. Off the hands and picked off by Flanders. Well done, Membry. Stuck to the task, didn't give up on the contest.
And that energy from St Kilda, that's what you've been seeing. There just hasn't been any evidence of it from the Suns side, but forwards willing to put pressure on, and then players getting over to them and congratulating them for just that, those effort plays that the Saints are doing.
Marshall with the experience and body strength. McAndrew taking front position successfully on that occasion in front of Max King.
And the only thing I've got to say, Joe, for all of this domination, all the positives we're talking about with St Kilda, we're just not seeing them quite capitalise enough. They're in total control of the game, and they've only got the 3 goals on the board.
Ryan Marshall, man, handling the first-year player, Jed Walter. King with a real high up and under kick. Collins.
And it's a credit to the back six of the Suns. They've really withstood. We have a look, 22-11 inside 50s. Held up really well.
Sam Collins up to 12 possessions. He's averaging 13 a game, so he's having a very busy night.
Yeah, well, Flanders 22, Sexton 15, Ballard 12, Collins 12. All the big possession winners are their backline players.
King worked out of it. Rao got the crumb, got the hands free to Ainsworth. That's a beautifully weighted handball to Long. It's got some work to do, though. Ball stays in, suits Webster. Wilkie, battle, hits the 45 but misses the kick. It might work out well. It'll get to the back for Bonner. He sizzles one towards Membry, lace out. Henry runs into some space. King offers a lead, heads in that direction. He's got it.
Brilliant by Jack Higgins too.
Yeah.
Laid the block, just freed up his key forward there. The ball movement was terrific by the Saints. but the work rate off the ball as well. Bonner's kick there was superb to a leading memory, and then while this is going on, Jack Higgins has worked back deep, laid that little block. Release is king. Terrific team play.
Missed one a little earlier from a very similar spot. To get a little bit of reward for all their effort. That's better. Margin out to 21 points. Saints with the opening goal of the second term. It took 15 minutes.
So this is the selfless forward line play you want to see from St Kilda. Jack Higgins working all the way back there. Lays a terrific block on Andrew. And Max King says thank you very much and goes back and slots it. That's when a forward line is working really well together.
21 points is a considerable margin when you look at just the one goal so far in the first half for the Suns. Bailey Humphrey, a known goal kicker, tries to hammer that one in the direction of Walter. Fights on after it. It was Lukosius down there, in fact, and couldn't keep it in.
That's why the Windhager to Tuke Miller is a really clever play from Ross Lyon and the coaching staff, because Miller is the one that can put in that real effort and energy, but at the moment he's so worried about the tag that he's receiving, and they're just not getting any of this liveliness out of their midfield.
Can they manufacture something from here? And a little bit of frustration from Tuke Miller. Hasn't been able to get the game on his terms, and St Kilda suddenly feeling like they are right on top.
Owens goes towards King. Andrew floats over the top. Ballard. Anderson. Hewland fashions a kick and finds Fiorini in the middle. They try to get a bit of overlap run now, something they've lacked from behind. Sexton spreads it wide for Berry. Can they keep it moving? The Saints get numbers back, as you can see. Berry just pops it up. And Owens picks it off.
That is not the kick you want. St Kilda will pick that off all night long.
Even then, it felt like Berry was a touch slow. There was an opportunity to really take on and back Ben King in one-on-one. That might come unstuck from Battle, though.
So now you got to go. Now you got to go, because you got even numbers.
That little pause just allows, you can see the Saints roll back and make life really hard in the next kick. Flanders is on record pace for disposals, but they're not able to score. Lukosius with a contest. Holman charged at Henry. Long, fighting hard. Has he got an issue here? Riley Bonner.
Fine. Go through.
Given the benefit of doubt. So just wouldn't mind a little bit of opportunity to try and build something here, Gold Coast. Keep it trapped inside forward 50. Moyle slapped it down. Bonner walked through and then got penalised, and it was Ben Long who committed to the tackle and deserves a shot at goal.
He does, yeah.
Job, you were onto this straight away. He was the energy bringer for that Gold Coast Suns forward line, wasn't he?
He was the outlier, wasn't he? He was the only one that really was putting on any pressure with speed, and they just need more players like them just to do the little things that don't require talent or disposals, just effort.
Played his 100th AFL game last week. Ben Long has got 11 goals for the year coming into tonight. He's going with a right foot snap. And didn't strike it well.
So they've had 14 inside 50s, Joe, Gold Coast. They've had just 4 disposals inside 50 tonight. So when it's hit the ground, they haven't been there to collect it. Can their smalls get involved? They've got some real talent down there. At least they forced a contest then and got a disposal out of it and a shot at goal.
See, that's an easy exit. That's better. Better from Holman.
Now the players should be off each other. This should be a better opportunity to go forward. And
it goes laterally and sets Anderson a task. He's tripped or pushed in the back by Butler. But even so, the Saints can get numbers back.
You'd almost simplify the message to the team at halftime and say, go forward, look forward, forget sideways.
Sexton. Next link is Ballard. St Kilda's own shifts across to the outer side. So Flanders brings it back into the middle for Ballard. Hit up option is Graham. He wheels and goes and launches. Lukosius in that pack. Moyle there as well. Lukosius bobs up with the football and just misses right.
No scoring first half unfolding here at Marvel Stadium. Just the one Gold Coast Suns goal. Caminiti gets moving in front. Owens. Sexton on the boundary line, and you can see some changes about to unfold here, Lingy.
Yeah, and so they finally get a boundary throw in now. So now you've got to go back to some of your basic stuff if you're the Suns. Contested possession. When you're filled with team with Rowell and Anderson and Miller and these types of players, it's not acceptable for a half a footy to be minus 21 in contested possession. So sometimes when things aren't going to plan, things aren't working, strip it back to your absolute fundamentals. Hunt after the footy, win the contested ball, put pressure on the opposition, get your game kick-started that way.
Just see on cue, Matt Rowell came off the interchange and Kamikaze style went after it, but here come the Saints again. Bodie Hewlin having to defend Collins, who's been resolute. Butler with a good tackle. Hewlin, they're sweating on it. Henry wanting to pick it up, sliding in Jeffrey. The Suns fighting hard back there, and they really done well under the circumstances. Clearing kick coming out the way of Marshall and Walter. Big collision it was. Marshall got back up. Little fumble from Berry. Hands it off to Rowell. And now McAndrew can sweep it through the corridor.
Humphrey immediately tackled. Turnover comes. Dow goes inside 50. When you get a high turnover like that, it's hard to defend.
Yeah, on the flip side, how good was that from St Kilda? Absolutely, Jace. You get that really great pressure. The forward handball from McAndrew here just sold his teammate into a world of hurt, and Sinclair was onto him.
Not 15 for Wood, who gives it off. Wanganeen-Milera was always tracking straight at the post. It's a bit of a wasted opportunity there. Ross not overly impressed. Margin at 20 points with 2.5 to play in the opening half.
Sam Flanders casually from full back. It'll be okay to Holman. Damien Hardwick will be very keen to get a reset going and change style, as Cameron Ling and Joe Watson have pointed out. Got to get more forward momentum in their game. Lukosius, good mark. We know what a beautiful kick he is.
Keep the speed going. Keep the ball movement going forward.
So it's that lateral kick again that trying to shift the defence, but haven't been successful. Long pops in again, and Ben Long copped a little bit of a backhander for his trouble, but another opportunity for the Suns.
Work rate. He got himself into a great position. See here, got in there. Very nearly have got 50 metres out of that one, but it was perhaps at the exact same time. Yeah, Bonner just trying to spoil.
Grew up playing his junior footy in the famous St Mary's Football Club in the Northern Territory. The Long family are royalty in that part of the world. The world everywhere in AFL terms. Is that one has gone left and short, and Rowan Marshall on the last line takes a mark.
Just need to be tidy now with just over a minute left on the clock. So we'll go long and wide. Caminiti tries to get to the front. It's off the fist of Hewland and out. Marshall, Moyle off it. Here's Anderson. Maybe chance for a late one. Berry. The outside of the boot was perfect.
If that's on purpose, that is one of the best kicks you'll ever see.
Straight off to Answorth.
kicked it check side on the run.
He's giving it a poker face too, Tom. Not sure.
What are we calling this? Intentional?
Much needed.
I'm normally glass half full, but that was a shot at goal from on.
Ben Ainsworth to capitalise. Pull one back late in the second term. Chances have been hard to come by, and Ben takes his. So margin back to 14 points with just 9 seconds left in the opening half. A timely goal for Gold Coast.
See the other angle here, the Berry kick. I reckon there might have been some sort of deliberate intent there.
Maybe just to avoid the smother,
Maybe,
was it, Joe?
maybe just to get it underneath the arms of the opposition. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
So St Kilda, after all that work, have advanced their 12-point lead to 14.
Yeah.
With 4 seconds remaining in this first half. It is an old-fashioned arm wrestle as the halftime siren sounds.
12 points at quarter time for the Saints, and at the main change it is 14 points. They've had all the play, yet they're only 14 points up at half time, so haven't quite put the Suns away. Butler with 2 goals, King for the Suns, 1 with Ainsworth. As I welcome Brad Johnson, Eddie Betts and Jack Rewalt back in. First thoughts, Jono, on the first half?
Well, defensively, the St Kilda
performance of the first half, and Marcus Windhager last week, it was Harley Reid. Today, Tuke Miller.
He's a fantastic job again. He's found a nice little role that I think will allow him to develop as a player as well, Dico, because he's playing on the very best and not only stopping them, but can go and find his own ball as well, and that'll evolve. He'll become a better player because of this and learn different styles of work rate and positioning, especially with Tuke Miller, how good and contested that he is as a player. So it's a great experience because, Jack, as we chatted about in terms of coming on air, their midfield for the Gold Coast is well down tonight.
Yeah, it's well down. It's interesting to go that they wouldn't go Anderson, but I reckon Ross does this really well as he identifies. Because sometimes I think coaches are afraid to tag because it shows a weakness in a system. But they have this up their sleeve in their system, and 3 disposals for Tuke Miller, the captain of the Gold Coast Suns. They have just gone straight to the top and said, Marcus, we need you to go and do a job. It's not on Anderson, it's not on Rao, it's on the leader of the football club who has a phenomenal work rate. You can see there already a little bit of niggle in the second half.
This will be interesting, Eddie, for Dimmer Hardwick. They haven't put him away by any stretch, had all the dominance. So if you're sitting back, you're saying, right, we're right in this. All we need to do is just straighten a few things out.
Yeah, well, that's what I spoke about. The inside 50s, they're kicking it long. So if they hit a few more targets inside 50, take a few marks and kick a few goals, Dicko, it's an easy game.
Easy game, isn't it? Just kick to the forwards, get out of their way. So let's go to the third quarter. It is the Saints by 14 points.
Comes our way in this second half. Is it going to break open? 0-0 draw in the ruck contest. Sinclair wrapped up immediately by Matt Rao. So the numbers condense around the ball. Marshall with strength. Anderson and Jack Steele. Miller hacks a kick forward. Wanganeen-Milera under pressure. Big mark taken. Opportunity for Fiorini to send it deep into attack. Heading in the Ben King direction. And the defensive spoil coming across was effective. And well done, Jack Sinclair.
Just a couple of little things to start. First of all, Miller just keep working in hard in the contest. They were minus 21 contested possessions at half-time. Then the ball turns over, Saints win it, but immediately Holman putting pressure on the kicker, create another turnover.
Over the ruckman, Windhager at the back. There's Miller, turning tackler.
Easy, guys.
A win for the Suns is just timing forward 50.
Straight it up. Yeah,
Repeat stoppages, build pressure.
Let him go now. Let him go. Straight up. Wax. Thank you. Ned.
Damien Hardwick might have said to them, let's get physical in this second half.
Ainsworth tried to haul it in. Steele bounced off his teammate. Kick to the wing. Awkward bounce for Andrew. It might work for Flanders at the back. King put him under pressure. Hewland. Andrew just got the handball out. Anderson, Jeffrey, Fiorini looks inside. Rowell, can he find someone? Off the fingertips of King. Wanganeen-Milera taken to ground and gone. There's the forward pressure they were looking for.
Yeah, again, it's been long, but creating forward half turnovers and then going. We saw a handball change for the first time. Matty Rowell tried to lower the eyes, but that pressure, the sentiment's changed if you're the Gold Coast Suns.
Yep, and the only thing with Ben Long's game so far, he hasn't been able to finish his work.
Yep.
Would have had a huge game to this point if he could.
Chance to kick his first of the night. Good start to the second half for the Suns. As they try to open the game up. Averaging 91 points a game this season. Held to just 15 in the first half. They've come out and had the first 3 inside 50s of the third term.
Well, I really believe that the measurement for success for the Suns in this second half should be built all around pressure. The one guy who's been consistently doing it all night for them has been Ben Long. He gets rewarded from a forward 50 tackle, gets their first in the second half.
Saints' game high lead was 21 points, back to 8 now. Anderson
Hold the ball.
picked it up and
Stand.
high penalty that one.
I don't like that one paid at all, does.
Jack Steele sends them into attack through the hands of Max King. McAndrew.
That one there is the one I want the quick whistle on for a ball up.
Yes. Yeah.
It's locked away. There's no prior opportunity. Just quick whistle, ball it up, get the game started that way.
Slapped down by Marshall. Ballard almost picked the pocket of Mitch Owens. Owens fights back. In comes Paddy Dow, and that arm wrestle will result in a ball up.
Just on this, Lingy, I don't think Anderson's done anything wrong there. It's just, as you said, quick ball up. We want to protect their head in the sling tackle, but he actually hasn't been done anything wrong from a football accent.
And you want to encourage players to go for the ball.
Correct.
Lingy.
Correct.
Off Owens. And that's the next talking point, isn't it? We don't want to discourage players from going for the football and hanging back and tackling.
And the reason why I say a quick whistle for the ball up is because the next motion of the tackler, if you let it go too long, is taking him to ground because you're worried about him disposing of the footy. So the quick whistle's important, but just not a holding the ball there.
Moyle. Off Ainsworth. Miller. Dow strips it. Smothered off the boot of Wood by Closey. Berry. And Rowell almost fight over it. Berry penetrating kick. Long's got to compete against a couple. Does well to get it to ground, but the numbers will win out. Sinclair on the half volley. Hill gets a shepherd from Steele. Beautiful kick, finds Marshall.
Came at it with some intent, did Rowan Marshall. Heading in the Max King direction, one-on-one McAndrew. Getting his athleticism on display. Tried a little back heel to Dan Butler. Max King was well tackled. Bodie Ewan incredibly unlucky not to be rewarded for that. Owen puts his head down. Got rid of Jeffrey.
St.Kilda, go through. Eye contact. Mark's here, Joel.
Holding the ball every day of the week.
Yep. It's strange the ones that are paid and the ones that are not paid sometimes.
Twice on the weekend as well.
Mitch Owen on the back of a bit of high contact. He's going to centering kick. He telegraphed it. Rowell was awake to it. Liam Henry fighting hard. There's again a number of bodies around. Spinning out of trouble. Anderson cleverly got it to Jeffrey. Spins back into the corridor. That's a good ball to Holman.
Can they build off half-back? The run comes from Rowell. He'll look up. He's got King in a one-on-one. Trouble here for Miller. Gets lit up by Wood. Coming back the other way, Wanganeen-Milera. Now Dow. Dow's kick inside 50, not great. Off Ballard, who goes back, wins it. Does really well to Ewland. And maybe now they get out. Berry, Lakota, and Closey rather, comes cruising on by. Needs a lead inside 50. Tough kick on the head of Long, and it's picked off by Ross.
Started as the sub, said Ross, activated for Dougal Howard, who unfortunately has done another hamstring. Went off the ground in the first term. Membry, Mason Wood, got Butler, who then sensed the pressure coming. Ewan was strong in his tackle, and you can just feel that rating has genuinely lifted from the Suns.
It has. The rating's gone up, but St Kilda had the numbers and needed to run together in a wave and be able to use each other and get a really good entry. Instead, it just stopped. And a good tackle.
Some more speed and flow into the game now, though, which will suit the Suns.
Miller dealing with the Windhager tag through the corridor. Mitch Owens, space here. Max King didn't get a great bounce. Andrews got some work to do. They let him play it out. Got boot to ball. Saints fans, you can hear their displeasure. But the Suns will get it out to Ben King on the wing.
Beautiful kick from Newland. King didn't break stride. Brings it back inside to Anderson. And again, another slowish build-up here for the Suns.
Corridor's open.
He spots it, and he hits the kick to Ballard, who sneaks forward, takes on Caminiti, runs to 51. Charlie Ballard winds up, gets it to the square, and it's picked off by Wilkie. Ballard didn't get all of that kick. Put some pressure on Webster. He's unaware, so's Humphrey.
We do have the advantage of the microphone.
Wood. Oh, Wood's turned it over. He's given it to Jack Lukosius, and his face says it all.
Well, they're just building pressure in multiple ways, and they get a turnover off the back of it, but it's 6-4 inside 50s for the Suns, but it's the way in which they're playing. They're playing with some better speed, better intensity, and a better mindset to put pressure on in close space.
This to get back within 2 points. Haven't been this close since the early stages.
Wasted. He would have been one of the guys who would have almost put it in pen. Lukosius, beautiful kick at the footy. Second behind for the night.
That is a disappointing miss. The Gold Coast Suns have really dominated the early part of this third term. Another turnover straight into the arms of a waiting Fiorini. He's going to fire it back inboard. Ben King, big launch at it. Jimmy Webster tracking it back. Mason Wood's not going to take another risk, but the kick's partially smothered. That was ambitious from Sinclair. Strong tackle, Higgins. Campbell was paid, and now they can slingshot back. Henry with the speed. Great chase from Graham. Good support from Hill. Oh, Graham, brilliant. Not paid, advantage. Hunter Clark takes it. Collins keeps it alive. And chasing after Rowan Marshall with all the speed he can muster up. Short one to Henry, and that was an interesting passage of play. Saints fans are out of their chairs. And Liam Henry can score from there.
Involved in the initial bit of play, the run through the middle here was Henry. Outstanding chase by Graham, and then that tackle we thought was holding the ball. Henry kept on going to get on the end of Rowan Marshall's nice kick.
Recruited him from Fremantle for that run and dash and speed, and can he hit back with the goal? Liam Henry steered it to the near side.
It feels like there's more speed on the game, though. The ball movement is now starting to open up, as they tend to do in games second half. But
Flanders over Sexton. Miller dragged down.
Windhager is just wearing him like a glove.
You'd be admiring and enjoying this kind of rolling.
Oh, we just know how much of an impact Miller can have on his team. So for Windhager to do that, such an important role.
Had 3 in the first half. Took Miller. He's already had 5 in this half. The battle continues. Windhager versus Miller. Clark will get there first. Miller comes through hard.
He's certainly not going to just meekly accept the Windhager tag for the rest of the game. He's trying to will himself back into this game.
Will that get looked at?
Holding, Gold Coast, took Miller.
I don't think so. I think he was going at the footy, committed. He didn't bump.
I love your terminology there. He is willing himself. Took Miller to have an impact, and it's exactly what he's doing. That kick not great. Out of bounds, Ferrini can't keep it in.
We talked about it at halftime about his energy and what he's able to do and the flow-on effect of that. And it's evident in this third quarter. He just has that spark about him. He has that effort. He's an effort player, Miller, which is why he's so well respected. That's a free kick.
Clark is going to send them forward. The Saints, McAndrew got rid of Max King, and he's got enough confidence to cut back inboard. And they've got them stacked out on the city side of Marvel Stadium. That's where Sexton heads to Jeffrey. Can they build from here? The Gold Coast Suns through Closey.
Chips it. And Holman hangs on. Despite the pressure from Ross, and then the runner from behind. Starting to get a little bit of this into their game. Closey hoists it inside 50. Walter turned around by Battle.
That's 50, isn't it? When you run between the mark and the marker.
Strange things happening here tonight.
Wanganeen-Milera to Ross. Now to Wilson. Wants to step Ainsworth, does it well. Streams to the wing. Chips to half forward. Jeffrey cuts it off. Certainly more time in possession early in this third term for Gold Coast.
Outside 5.
Kicked the only goal of the term. Sexton hemmed in at half-back. Moyle's got to go at this against Marshall. Mark paid.
Mark. St.Kilda.
Caminiti run. He looks up and decides he's going to go to the first-year player, Darcy Wilson, who's having an impact in his first season. Suns have got numbers back. Sexton, in the end, probably wanted the boundary line and got it through Fiorini.
Job, this is why just before you called out this is a free kick. There's a bit going on off the ball.
That's a UFC fight, that is.
Neither are dying, wondering, these two.
It's a good battle, isn't it? Anderson exited the stoppage with skill. Jed Walters found the going hard tonight. Little boot to ball from Wanganeen-Milera. Picked up by Wilson off Cummings through Walter. It was Holman with some aggression. Now Walter back to Holman. Graham couldn't complete the handball. Berry tracking it. Wilson tracking him. Popped up and gained some territory. Owens fighting back. Josh Battle's done a power of work in defence for the Saints. But Jeffrey, the intercept mark, took it with great skill.
16 touches for him behind the footy tonight. Newland. Now Collins. Sexton going to be closed down. Pressure came from King, affected the handball. Windhager versus Miller. Windhager really clever. Tap to Membry. Hill taps the accelerator. Delivers inside 50. Wood's got position. Plays on. Snaps goalward. And Higgins makes certain of it. Two for Jack Higgins. Saints out to a 14-point lead. A little bit happening in the middle of the ground. Some push and shove.
Come on. Let's set up. Let's set up.
Just a really good contest here by the Saints, and Hill, he's able to turn the Jets on. We talked all day about getting the ball in the hands of the guys who are the good decision makers by foot, and he's one of them. Mason Wood drifts forward, and Higgins with the goal score from the goal square.
A couple of goals to Jack Higgins. More goals than any other Saint this year. He's their leading goal kicker last year as well, Jack Higgins. Let's get down to Campbell Brown.
Dimmer has made a tactical sub. Braden Fiorini subbed out, and in game 232, Dave Swallow into the contest.
That's Brownie, only 200 game Gold Coast son, David Swallow, with all his experience.
You'd imagine that would be a lot about Swallow. Hunt after the footy, hunt after the opposition. You've been calling for it all night, Joe. Pressure's the key, contested ball, get the game back in their terms.
Jeffrey has turned it over. Hill, Wanganeen-Milera always does something good with the footy. That one just a fingernail too tall for Butler. He was set upon by a couple of tacklers, and it'll be thrown up deep in attack for the Saints.
Nowhere for Sexton to go there. Walter and Marshall. Marshall trying to get it to Owens along the boundary.
Hold the meter, Jed.
Marshall takes possession but kicks into Henry. Owens.
Rowan Marshall and Jack Steele, just with their contested possession work, having a big influence. Jed Walters just trying his hardest to body up there.
Tackles Marshall to the ground on that occasion. Anderson. There's Swallow involved, but Sinclair picks it off. Plenty of Suns inside their defensive 50, so Sinclair will go short and wide. And find Steele. Now Windhager. Butler off is short. He'll go to the top of the square. Walter with the big fist over the top, but front and centre was Bonner. Right foot snap is high and wide.
Well, the Gold Coast Suns have dominated most of this third term, but have effectively trailed by 1 point. 14-point half-time lead, now out to 15. Paddy Dow back to Bonner. Chance here again for St Kilda. Wilson cuts back into the corridor. Good chance for Steele. What about McAndrew? He has got something special. Brilliant mark. Releases the kick immediately. Chance for Long. Got underneath it. And it allows Jimmy Webster some time to link up with Battle. And you can see it all the way back, and Jed Walter read it beautifully. They trap it in their forward half. A little casual, the Saints back there in defence.
Yeah, outstanding by Walter, though, to make up that ground and close down the exit and spoil their great work. He's in the ruck, he's working hard and battling against Rowan Marshall, who's so strong, but well played there.
Marshall the tap, almost straight into the path of Swallow. Steele will concede. When we talked to Damien Hardwick about Jed Walter early in the season, the number one quality that he loves about him is his competitiveness. It's not the skill and the athleticism, all of that's great. He said the reason this kid's going to be a star is he's just a competitive animal.
Jack Sinclair got the releasing handball straight through half forward. The Suns got the numbers here. Butler did well, though, brought it to the ground to Windhager to Henry. Not the required journey. Wasn't going to be marked anyway. Caminiti showed some speed, the big man, and Mason Wood on the favoured left. Kicked 4 last week. That one full short.
50 metres.
To Newland.
50 metres.
50-metre penalty.
Yeah, back on the 9.
Yeah, when it's inside that 9, you have to immediately come back.
Darcy Wilson, 50-metre penalty really is a pressure valve release for the Suns, and you're going to release it to Sexton.
He's been one of the more creative users. Looks down the line, then looked inside. You can see the frustration in his body language. No movement. Moyle has to go against Marshall again. Berry may be a chance on the deck. Can Bonner get him? Gets the handball inside, past Walter. Spinning through was Windhager. Swallow. Taken down illegally.
Spilled out, mate. It's unlucky. It's spilled out. Just get you to stand there, Jack.
Have a look.
I think it was knocked
He
out.
could have been slightly high, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's unlucky. But you held him without the ball.
To hear the umpire's explanation there.
That's your line. He's on the mark. Stand.
Big kick for Swallow.
Not sure it makes you feel any better when the umpire just consoles you with, geez, you're unlucky.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to hear that.
No.
Just let me be in my own space for a bit.
He's kicked 6 straight this season, David Swallow. They need one now, and their veteran steps up and delivers. Margin back to 8 points. Game 232 for him tonight. As the boys have mentioned, all-time record holder at Gold Coast. 14th year in the system. Taken at pick 1 in 2010.
It's an important moment for the Suns. David Swallow brought on as the sub to hunt after the footy at ground level, put some pressure on. A little fortunate to draw the free kick, but he goes back and nails the goal, just trying to get his team going, trying to generate some enthusiasm.
I'd love to see David Swallow play a final after all of the history and perseverance of the Gold Coast Suns. Long way away from that now as Mitch Owens takes a good mark. Spears one into the pocket. Henry launched. Max King came late.
Just that little bit of composure from the Saints. Just before Owens kicks that ball, Jack Sinclair is running free, pass for a handball. If he gives that one, he probably runs to 50 and either chooses to hit up a nice little lead or kicks the goal himself.
Yeah, it's a good call, Lingy.
Just over 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Scoring's been hard. Butler was well tackled. Matt Rao hung on a little too long in the tackle. And that allows Stan Butler an opportunity to kick his third goal.
Just have a look here. Ball's out. Rao, yeah, that's a free kick. It's just unfortunate the intent wasn't there, but he's unaware that the ball's exited and he holds onto the tackle, drags him to ground. Smart forward play from Butler.
We can kick his third here. That is a substantial return in what has been hard-going goal-scoring wise, and Dan Butler has got 3. He's kicked half of their goals. Dan Butler, Saints fans have something to cheer about. They get their margin back out to 14 points, same that it was at half-time. It was a handy evening's work for Dan Butler, the former Premiership Tiger.
Well, the last 2 goals of the game from free kicks, and Swallow converts in, and so does Butler, and just Rao just hung on to the tackle for a little bit too long, but an important finish from Butler. He's kicked his third of the Saints 6, and they just stay that 2-goal buffer away.
Important response for the Saints. Steele shoved out of the way by Rao. Holman to Graham. Spears inside 50. On the bounce, a tough one for Ben King. Wilkie grabs a piece. Well done, Berry. Rao off the left. Bounces goalward and bounces through. Suddenly it's a shootout. Well, not quite. Margin back to 8 points, though. Important for Gold Coast to just keep hanging in. Matt Rao, 7 goals, 1 for the season, 24-7 for his career. When he gets his chances, he takes them.
Watch Matty Rowell here. First effort with the tackle, then he just tracks the ball. He's there for a handball receive. Doesn't get it. That's what you need to do as a midfielder. Keep drifting forward with the flow of the play, present himself in a position. Dangerous inside forward 50. Outstanding midfield football, that. stay involved.
You admire about these young guns for the Gold Coast Suns. Maturing and finding a way at important moments this year. Free kick's been picked out.
Contact. Gold Coast.
Going the way of the Suns. Sean Collins will be the recipient.
Free kick.
Just there. Umpire saw the arm above the shoulder, made contact with Collins' head, pays a free kick straight away. She's been good for the Suns tonight, Collins.
Been huge.
Has held up and saved them many an occasion.
Bodie Hewlin. Penetrating ball down the line. The strength of Marshall. Rao really having an impact. Has fired that directly to the boundary line. There was no choice apart from insufficient attempt to keep it in. Darcy Wilson is going to get the resultant free kick. Max King sets himself. Andrew from behind, Paddy Dow. Higgins is going to centre it. Lukosius and Mason Wood. A butt ball down there. Owens over the top. They're letting it play out for a long while. The umpire circling and deciding.
Doesn't have possession of the ball now. Thanks, Mitch.
A ball up. There's the explanation.
Marshall and Moyle. Swallow gets it outside 50. Awkward bounce here for Walter. He goes back against Battle and then wins it. Handball's ambitious to Holman, who puts the pressure on Battle. Sinclair's little tap to Wilson. Just gets away from Graham. Kick inside 50 again. Butler flies. Hewland over the top with the fist. Ball hits the ground for Sexton. Holman needed to be quick. Swallow to Flanders. And now Ainsworth. Walter works hard to provide an option down the line. We'll take the shorter one. It's Jeffrey. Rao provides the 45.
Stand.
Jeffrey, the receive and the launch. King in there. Wood throws it on his boot. Awkward bounce for Higgins. Might work for Flanders. Feeds it back to Collins. He swings it wide. Andrew rather. Flanders. Sexton turns it over. And Mason Wood with the safe hands in defence.
Cross line. Getting down for some early instructions. Three-quarter time looming. Saints will be well aware that it's not long to go as he spends a bit of time with the interchange players. I would imagine from Seb Ross, with his experience, will be conservative with this next kick, taking as much time as he possibly can and then sending it down the contest. Owens in front. Rao, look at the effort to go after the tackle, and great competitive edge Matt Rao has. Super impressive.
Really gritted his teeth in this term, hasn't he? Stepped it up. Moyle throws it on the boot. Says throw it in. So Ned Moyle, some interest in him, just his sixth game, the 22-year-old. He's been a standout at VFL level for a number of years. Battling tonight against Marshall. Rao came through. Wilson was clean. Clark couldn't get purchased, but it'll work. Owens.
Gold Coast. Flanders.
Clock stops with 4 seconds.
Stand, pump.
Flanders will waste no time. Sinclair at the front. 8-point game as we turn for home on Saturday Night Football. The sort of games that Gold Coast need to find a way to win if they're to play finals for the first time. St Kilda 6-7-43, Gold Coast 5-5-35.
You're watching Super Saturday on Fox.
It was the Saints by 14 at half-time. It's now the Saints by 8. Matty Rowell, 14 disposals. This one got the Suns going in the third quarter. They started to pepper the goals and inside 50s. Eddie Betts, we could feel the Suns coming. We wanted a response. We got it in the third quarter. As we look at the inside 50s, though, for their 14 inside 50s for the Gold Coast Suns, and St Kilda had 18, but it was what they did with those in terms of the marks inside 50.
Yeah, it was, and it was wasted opportunities. The way they got their goals, Ben Long as a small tackled, inside 50 tackle, went back, kicked the goal. David Swallow got a free kick, went back, kicked the goal, and then Rowell gets it out of the middle, crumbs it, kicks that goal. But the wasted opportunities is kicking inside 50, and we spoke about it at half-time. So they had 17 inside 50s and weren't hitting the target. So here we go. It's bang. There's no one there. There's Long versus 3. You're not going to get anything out of this. And here they go again. There's King down the line. 1v1. He wants it there. Kick it to him. He's leading the common medal. There you see with his arms. And then we go Long. Again, these kicks are not going to get you anywhere. If they keep bombing in like these, guys like Wilkie are just going to roll off and just mark everything. So we've got to change our way. Lower your eyes. Find the next target, because St Kilda are just mopping up everything.
And they've found their angles too, Eddie. So they've come in to find their targets inside 50, but elected to bomb. So hopefully Dimmock can address that at three-quarter time. But look at Tuke Miller. We gave him half a roast at half-time. Windhager had done a really good job for a half, but 6 possessions in that quarter, starting to fight his way back.
He is, and that's what happens when we put people on the barbecue, Dicko. We roast them, and then they just find a way. And the captain of the Gold Coast, Tuke Miller, he is a leader. And, you know, as good players do, they find a way to get back into it. He had 6 disposals in that game, 2 clearances. And so for Gold Coast to win this game, he has to get his hands on the ball, use that grunt and get away from Windhager.
I know the Saints will be nervous because they haven't put the Gold Coast Suns away by any stretch, and that quarter just showed that they've come out with a new attitude, but they've got to capitalise, as you mentioned, Eddie, on that inside 50s, at least getting marks there. Calm the farm a little bit when you're in your front half to put some scoreboard pressure on.
Oh, they are, and Matty Rowell is having a super second half. So he started slowly in the first half. The third quarter he got on the board, and it's up for a big last quarter.
Well, if you just tuned in, it's 12 months since the Gold Coast Suns have won an away game. So it's been a long drought. New coach, though, and new system. Hopefully it's a new attitude going into the last quarter. Matty Rowell, as I mentioned, 14 disposals, kicked a goal there to spark it in the third quarter. It's the Saints by 8 points. We've got a cracker to finish this win off on Super Saturday. Let's head to the bounce of the ball.
Moyle to go against Marshall. Anderson.
Touch, play on, touch.
Wood had to get rid of it quickly. Up and under. Rucks go at it again. Slapped forward by Higgins. Chance for Flanders under pressure from Clark. The fend on Newland. Got boot to ball. Dangerous spot here. Higgins tries to sock it to himself. Then cleverly paddles it back. Sinclair's handball missed Hill. Butler. Immediately tackled by Rowell.
Moyle and Marshall. Henry, fast feet to work his way through it back to Bradley Hill. Hunter Clark, second game back for the year, has smothered ricochets out of bounds. Missed the first 8 weeks with a calf injury, Hunter Clark, and then a month in the VFL. There he is, left the screen. Can he fight on, secure a tough win here tonight? Evenly poised game this. Now a dangerous ball to the top of the square. The Suns defenders been really incredible under the pressure. Jeffrey wants McAndrew. Got a brilliant effort to spin out of that. Now he's kicked it into the back of a teammate in Graham. Max King for the boundary. It was half a centre, half a shot, and probably not the worst result in the end of boundary throw.
No, just trapped in there for a little bit. The Saints forwards pressure to start this fourth quarter, very good. Getting after it, just causing a little bit of indecision from the Suns. That's the way this Saints team are going to hold on to the lead. Keep that pressure high.
Moyle, nice tap. Swallow, Newland. Now Anderson. Bounce to the wing. Past Wilkie and King. He's got some support. It's Webster. I said it was out.
Got in.
That enormous pressure on the ball the Saints have been able to do all night has meant that Dougal-Howard coming out of this game early, it hasn't hurt them too much with the matchups. They put huge pressure on, slowed the Suns up, And then that long high kick has got a Josh Battle or Rowan Marshall with support coming back and helping out. They're not getting caught out for size.
Dougal Howard, looks to be another hamstring injury for him. Steele, creative, Hill. Well done, Newland again. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, great courage.
You, mate, you.
He and Collins and Flanders have had an enormous amount of work to do. This is touch 35 for Sam.
Performance Bodie Ulan out of the Gold Coast Suns Academy. Homegrown product. A huge moment from him. I just feel like this game could literally turn on a contest or a moment. It's so tight and tense. Swallow injected as a tactical sub. Windhager has been well tackled.
This is the stoppages, as we know, where the Suns excel, getting on the move, being physical, getting the ball forward.
Clean possession from Ned Moore, the young ruckman. Wanganeen-Milera with all the class and skill in the world. Back to Sinclair. Had to work his way around the attempted smother from Matt Rao. Fisted forward by Ballard. Nicely taken by Hunter Clark. Now there is a chance. Sinclair with space and time. Takes a bounce. King one-on-one. Kick just bounces in front. McAndrew did really well, but then shrugged the tackle. King with a centering kick. Hill just got to pick it up. Hands it off. And Butler, 4 goals. They want it touched. Suns of confidence touch. Let's have a listen.
He's going to check if it's touched okay. Okay. Score review. Umpire's calls touched. Could we please confirm?
Review underway.
Newland certainly sold it well. He immediately reacted. It looks like it brushes that.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball's touched by the right hand of the Gold Coast defender. Decision on the scoreboard.
Spoke about moments. Bodie Ulan just saved his team 5 points.
Yep. Yeah, that was a certain goal, wasn't it? With the numbers they had, the Saints. Great desperation. That's 2 huge moments for him in this last quarter. Brilliant, courageous mark 3 or 4 minutes ago. You don't have to sell it anymore. We believe you.
Moyle goes up, takes a good strong grab.
Stand.
Dishes it off. Run from the back. Jeffrey with confidence. Searching kick. Long finds it in the air.
Play on.
Has a man open. Kick not ideal for Closey. He runs into Owens and the moment's lost.
It was disappointing because he was free, Closey in the corridor. Just the kick led him back into traffic.
Well, the tap, Clark reefs it in, gets rid of Anderson, flips a handball to the feet of Higgins. Henry, Wanganeen-Milera. Composure as always. Wood. Chips towards Caminiti. Nice ball from the back, came from Collins. Front centre crumb from Butler, but straight into traffic.
Ned. Boys, come on. Both ears. Ned, run.
Tough contested possession game. Matt Rao perfectly suited to that. Lukosius has been quiet, but he got rid of Battle on that occasion. Wants to get it rolling. Pull the kick, and it's in the path of Ben Long. Can he pick it up? He might take Jimmy Webster on. Centering kick this time looks pretty good. Oh, Wilkie got back courageously and skillfully, not give away the free kick. That was impressive. And now Higgins on the way out, the diving mark not taken by Owens. Anderson, short kick's going to work out well. The veteran Swallow thought about the lead.
Callum.
Kicked a goal in the 3rd term, and this will be massive.
Well, you wanted the ball in the hands of Noah Anderson. He was the one that delivered it to Swallow. Big kick coming up.
Take his very best, you feel.
Suns have got to have some representation on the line.
Absolutely, Joe.
And the Saints sneak away. Henry, Sinclair, Webster. They look to run it through the zone. Windhager taken down. Webster comes back in support. Searching kick towards half forward. Membry got hands to it, then wins it on the ground. Hits the side of his boot. That might work for Jeffrey. We'll get some support from Collins. Lays the shepherd on Caminiti. Now Closey. Back to Jeffrey. He goes short. Finds Ainsworth. Bring it back inside for Flanders for his 37th touch.
Walter should get...
Now Sexton. Long leads. Walter's there. He stretches. Long. Snaps goalward. And King floats in to mark at the top of the square. Can make it a 3-point game.
Ben Long again, Joe. He's been the one all night. Early on, it was the pressure. His work rate. He's working hard to get on the end of the footy, and there, just a moment to outnumber and get it forward.
The Suns grind their way back to within a kick. Margin back to 3 points. Haven't been this close since the opening goal of the game. Then King with his second.
Just want to highlight why we're singing the praises of Ben Long here. Just the work rate, the little lead up there. Again, front and square, strength through the hips to be able to get that forward and get it to Ben King. All night, it's been Long who's brought the energy with his pressure, with his work rate, with his hunt around the footy. That's what the Suns need to bring if they're going to win this one.
And all night, St Kilda have led. Suns are pressing hard. Rowell to Anderson. Rowell again. Fighting hard, the Saints midfielders, to create a 0-0 draw. Moyle over the top of Marshall. Miller had to battle through the Windhager tag all night. Jimmy Webster down there. Holman. Long's been impressive. Walter. Holman comes at it again. Clever toe poke from Nasai Wanganeen-Milera, but it lands in the lap of Bodie Hewlin. Short one to Flanders.
They've tried that lateral kick all night, and we haven't loved it.
No.
Now St Kilda are set back perfectly.
Oh, dear. That is going to set a task for Noah. This was Charlie Ballard back there. McAndrew, big turnover. Henry to Higgins. Put the one hand up. Got some support from Windhager, but don't argue effective. Suns have been able to get back and get some numbers. Wanganeen-Milera, Rowell, brilliant. The one hand in. Dow flicks it back. Great pressure from the Suns. Forces the kick high. Ballard. In fact, Graham down there. Sky high from Wanganeen-Milera. Can Max King inject himself here? Pushes Hewlin. And the free kick is there.
Heart and mouth stuff for Gold Coast. Scrambling defence. It looked a certain goal for the Saints. They just needed that one extra possession. Had the man over the top. And somehow the Suns hung on. Andrew. Go long. Moyle's going to have to go in the air again, and he does.
A couple of big marks in this last quarter from Moyle.
It's been a big effort from him in just his 6th game. Wilkie will be the 3rd man up. Webster waits down. Berry crashed through. There's Long again. Been the creator inside 50, but sliding in this time is Steele.
Good defensive running from Jack Steele. Just got back, filled the hole. Really important intercept mark.
Beautiful kick.
Spotted Wilson and hit him perfectly. Cruising past is Wood. Graham tries to put some pressure on. Handball inside, made life tough for Dow. There's Hewland again. Open the door for Rowell with composure. Sexton. Lukosius. Searching kick to half forward. Long versus Battle, and Battle so strong.
Powerful unit, Josh Battle. Ben Long has competed as hard as anyone out there tonight. And the strength of Battle won the day. Big pack again. Marshall. Sexton immediately tackled by Hunter Clark.
Holding the ball.
And immediately rewarded Hunter Clark. The umpire was in perfect position to make that call.
I'm not sure there was a lot of pro opportunity there, Dars. And the ball spills free. I thought that's a play on call.
Again, another big pack. Collins did well to make sure the mark wasn't taken. Strong tackle. Bodie Ewan picked up by Andrew Rowell. Play on's the call. Was knocked out according to umpire. The tackle. Lukosius. Anderson outside of the boot. Just a half volley Ben King didn't want. Wilkie lost his footing.
Contact.
And drew a free kick in the process.
Oh, they're the moments in a tight game. A bounce one way or the other. Hill to Sinclair. Just over 10 minutes to play. Marshall camps his feet at the front. Membry spins and snaps. Well done, Collins.
Who can take the opportunities when they arise? Who can make the most of the moment? Someone's going to have a chance at some point.
Feels like neither team really knows how to win it at the moment.
You can genuinely feel the tension around Marvel Stadium. In a low-scoring arm wrestle, it just has that feeling of someone is going to have the winning moment. 4-point margin. Past the halfway mark of this last term. Ben Long launching again. He's been just so impressive the way that he's committed himself in every attempt.
You see the rawness of Walter as well, and just his understanding of leading patterns and where he needs to get to. He'll get better the more games he plays, but it's going to come down to these midfield bulls for either side.
They really need Jed Walter now, these minutes in the ruck, opposed to Rowan Marshall. Owens just tracking it forward. Gained some important metres. Membry. Jeffrey's tackle was effective. Going to get it back from Berry. Miller got past the Windhager tackle and then caresses it to Walter. Went the one hand. And again, just a little bit of inexperience. Marshall to Seb Ross. Hangs in the air a little bit. Bailey Humphrey getting back. He's been super quiet. Marking opportunity that was another 1%er.
Yeah, we're just seeing the inexperience, the immaturity of the Suns at the moment. Little moments where they can't grasp them and quite finish them off. It's part exhaustion, I think, a little bit, certainly Walter's case. Just stuck out the one hand. And then inexperience, you just got to make those moments count.
Marshall at the front. Smacked on by Windhager. Andrew leads Membry to it. Well done, Clark. Kept it alive, and then nice delivery down the line to Caminiti. Wants to go quickly. Higgins outsized by Ballard, but if it gets to the deck, that'll work for Jack. Pokes it inside. Tap on from Wilson to the advantage of Wood. He bends it towards Hill. Straining to get back is Graham. Hill gathers, twists. Graham gets him. Well done, young man.
Great tackle by Graham. Hill did his best to evade.
Just wait, just wait, just wait. Just wait. Rock.
Brad in some distress.
Take your time. Go the footy.
It's the second tackler who came in. Just Holman just collected him with the knee accidentally to the side of Brad Hill. Just there.
How good was Will Graham in that contest? Refused to give up Bradley Hill. As Joe Watson just said, it was an accidental knee to the temple, and he's going to come up and get that looked at. So we get this pause all of a sudden in the game, Lingy, where everyone draws breath for a moment.
Yeah, and both benches can make a few of the changes they want to make. Jack Steele and Max King on the bench of the Saints at the moment, so they're getting their last little rest in. Rouse headed to the bench for the Suns. So you reckon he'll only have a minute or two on there, and they want to get him back out on the ground. Moment to take a few deep breaths, compose yourself. You're ready to get back into the game.
Would that be a concussion protocol scenario potentially for Brad Hill?
I didn't go through the head injury assessment initially and then perhaps enter the protocol.
Now Anderson to Swallow has had an impact on this game as the activated sub in the second half.
And as players get tired, fatigue really sets in. You really want the ball in the hands of your best decision makers and kickers, and Anderson for the Suns is one of those. Wanganeen-Milera, Sinclair for the Saints. That's who you want to try and get the ball in the hands of.
Heading in the Ned Moyle direction. He's had some big moments of his own. Stuck the one hand out Holman and took it pretty cleanly. Long's going to have to compete with 2 or 3 defenders. Well, I won't mind that the Gold Coast Suns again. They'll be able to set up their defence behind this forward boundary throw-in.
There's Brad Hill composing himself on the bench.
Forward here, you just got to get on the move. Look for some blocks.
Holman is going to try and block Windhager for Miller. Get him free.
All at the front. It's flipped out. Miller. Gold Coast are in front for the first time. Took Miller steps up off the back of the stoppage. And the Suns hit the front with 7:28 to play.
It wasn't even necessarily the block initially that got Miller free. Windhager just ran into the back of Moyle. Just got checked for half a second. He's been so good all night, Windhager. But Miller stepped up in that moment. Is that going to be the one for the Suns?
And that's why it's so crucial to be on the move, especially forward stoppages, because just mess and chaos happens. But if you're moving to the ball, then you can react quicker than your opponent.
Great maturity from Took Miller too, isn't it? Not been an easy night, but it can always be your moment. And that was his. Free kick going Ned Moyle's way as Marcus Windhager takes a break as well. Moyle has shown some composure as well in this last quarter. Long one to Ben King. He's going to get a one-on-one. Wilkie, brilliant. Swallow took a clean possession front and centre. Good one for Graham, but he did really well to get it to Berry. Now Long over the top. Webster, Mason Wood. Thought about conceding and then just kicked it straight into the smother of Bailey Humphries, and the Suns having a really good patch here.
And they can bring the intensity, build the pressure, force the Saints to defend for a longer period of the game.
Moyle lays it down for Rowell to run onto. Gets the hands free, keeps it moving. Wood will get there first. Pressure comes from Holman. Kick's going to pitch. No, it won't, because Ainsworth will get there.
And that's been the biggest difference from the first half to the second half, Ling, is the ability of the Suns forwards to put pressure on the Saints defenders. And they were coming off a low base, to be fair, in the first half, so they needed to lift, and they have done so.
12-5 for the season. The boundary meets the 50. He runs around, sends it goalward. Super kick. Did it get there?
I believe it's a behind. Can we just confirm it was touched before crossing the goal line? Yep. Score review. Umpire's call is touched. One behind. Can we confirm there was touched before the line?
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball's touched before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Game of inches.
That's why the attention to detail matters in a game of footy. You have your tall players on the line. And jump at the footy. Well done by Caminiti.
Nice quick score review. And Cal Wilkie, he loves to run. Darcy Wilson, he's quick, he's fit, he takes a bounce. Mac Andrews come off Max King, and brilliantly done. A young key defender To back himself in like that, really impressive. Flanders.
Still going to want to move the ball forward if you're the Suns. You've got too much time to be playing too conservatively.
The lead-up kick to Rao, well defended by Jack Steele. 50-50 ball resulting in a free kick to the Gold Coast Suns. And love the look of Will Graham too. He's a great competitor.
Damien Hardwick said of all his recruits, he's the most likely 200 gamer. Just lock him in. You can see why he's had some moments.
Is that because a bunch of other recruits are going to be 300 game
Yeah,
players?
maybe. They're all going to be great, aren't they? He said he's the most vanilla, but just a certainty. Butler pops a handball. Great run from behind from Sinclair. Accelerates away. Graham in pursuit. Sinclair towards the pocket. Here's Yuland again.
He's had a big last quarter, Yuland.
Oh, hasn't he? So the Saints now, they've got to go back to their fundamentals. Just trap this ball in, create a turnover, get another good look at an entry.
Penetrating kick too towards Moyle, who read it well. He's got better as the game's got older.
Third big mark in this last quarter.
It's a great sign for him, Job. Young ruckman, 206 centimetres. You start taking marks like that, your value increases rapidly. Battle couldn't complete that mark. The handball slightly out. Bailey Humphrey put his head down and charged through. Swallow competing with Wilkie. Getting back there, Josh Battle needing some support. Gets in the form of Sinclair to Webster. Picked up nicely out there. And trying to cut through Owens to Hunter Clark. This is good for St Kilda. Membry's got it. Higgins, Max King, the deepest two forwards.
Holding St Kilda. Arms around.
He's doing it to me!
Arms around. Arms around.
It's going to go both ways.
Arms around. Arms around. Nah, the one I saw right around. There, Max. Time.
Very unhappy, McAndrew. Let's have a listen and a look.
A lot of off the ball from both players.
It's played about 100 metres from where the ball was being contested. We said there was going to be some moments. Max King directly in front to give the Saints the lead back. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this game. He leans into it, and the Saints are back in front. Max King's got a couple. The Gold Coast Suns are just trying to calm McAndrew down. There's plenty of time for another score, but huge moment.
Let's have another look at this one. To key forward, key defender, a little bit of a tangle up. I don't like that, mate.
No, I don't think.
I'm not a fan of that at all.
Both players are doing it to each other. There wasn't an obvious pulling back of it from Andrew to King.
Moyle to Rao. Immediately tackled by Dow. Moyle just belts it forward. Off Sinclair. Owens tackled by Rao. Ross throws a boot at it. Kosher soccers it back. Yuland gets rid of Wood and then runs into trouble. Bouncing ball to half forward. Henry and Ballard. Well done, Ballard. Needed to be clean and was.
Pushing it back. Back. No, it doesn't. Yep, bring it back. Time.
Now the Suns can set from half back. 2.5 to play. They trail by 3 points. Yuland to Collins. They look for a pathway through.
Andrew's pushing forward. He's got a good matchup.
Lukosius. Andrew flies over the top. gives it some height. King sets himself, he's got it.
Oh, smart play from Andrew, because he's got a real match-up, and he just pushed hard, really hard forward to get up on the wing, had Membry, and then was able to get it forward again to King, and an enormous kick coming up.
Well, Max King just put the Saints in front at one end. Can Ben respond at the other and give Gold Coast back the lead from 51 metres? Off hands, still alive, Wanganeen-Milera.
Big contest for Charlie Ballard. He's a great intercept mark. Max King after it, picked up by Jeffrey. Good pressure, Max King. Henry got involved as well. Clever handball. Great awareness from Anderson. Can they get a contested mark? McAndrew's gone forward. Ground ball to be won. Saints defending with everything. Still alive. They're letting it go over the top, Boyle. And we're down to a minute 10. And look at the tension all around Marvel Stadium.
And his Suns, he wants someone on the goal line coming but the other way to the ball.
Humphrey tries to muscle through. Quick whistle.
Don't just want it to be rushed through.
Moyle slaps it backwards. Rowell looking for it. Desperate scramble. It's still alive, bobbling around. Winhager gains some territory. Bounces it towards the line. 2 on 2, and Wood happy to see it out.
Yeah, Mason Wood had to touch that too and take it over the line, because it would have been a temptation, but insufficient attempt. Well played. Now it's just about the fundamentals for the Saints. Trap it in, lock it in. If you get possession, kick towards the boundary, down the line.
Moyle and Marshall. Great take, Winhager. Only as far as Collins. Still time here for Gold Coast.
There's another roll of the dice. Jeffrey's going to pick it up. Butler gives chase into the pocket. Can they sneak a mark here? Berry's going to keep it in. Andrews pushed forward. Oh, Jack Sinclair. It's going to stay alive. Jeffrey almost exhausted after it. And he couldn't keep it in, to the delight of the Saints fans. They're out of their chair. We're going to need a quick clearance and a contested mark. 25 seconds left.
Moyle and Marshall one more time. Moyle the tap. Steele gets the territory. Collins got a bad bounce. It gets past King as well. Here's Henry. Well done, Ballard. Stood up. Hewland. Closey. 8 seconds. Just got to go. Anderson. Miller. Can he get it inside 50? Gets back off the mark. Slips at the critical moment. Jeffrey with the kick. Saints hang on. St.Kilda with a critical win. Win pretty, win ugly. It doesn't matter. 4 points is 4 points, Campbell Brown.
Down here with Josh Battle, fantastic win. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, we needed another win on the board. I thought our effort throughout the night was terrific, so yeah, it's great.
Came out here tonight with a real game plan to hold up the quick ball movement of the Gold Coast Suns. What was that like from a defender's point of view?
Yeah, definitely. It makes it a lot easier when we got pressure on the ball. Makes life easier for us defenders to be able to play assertive, get in front and try and intercept.
How did structures change? Obviously, Dougal Howard went down with that hamstring injury. Would have thrown you guys out a little bit?
Yeah, he killed me. I only come off once for about 2 minutes, so I was cramping late, but no, it was good.
Plenty of pressure on the ball carriers as well tonight, which allowed you guys to play that intercept game, which you and Callum Wilkie did fantastically tonight.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, when we're at our best, we're bringing pressure. That's what we base our game around, so I thought we're back to that tonight.
What's Rossi been like during the week?
Nah, he's been really good. I mean, yeah, no, he's been brilliant.
Well done tonight, mate. Soak up the win.
Cheers, bro.
Good job.
St Kilda with their first top 8 scalp of 2024. Their first back-to-back win of the season. A disappointed Ned Moyle. Frustrating night for Gold Coast. The Saints led for 100 of 106 minutes, Brownie.
Fantastic effort. That's a really strong midfield group that the Gold Coast Suns have, but you beat them in contested possessions and clearances tonight.
Yeah, it was a massive goal. Our midfield got going last week. They put us in a good position to win the game, so that was a big part of our game plan tonight. Sort of cut the head off the snake, especially with Miller and Marks. We know you on him and getting him done for the most. Went a long way to winning the game.
He did a fantastic, really well-disciplined job. He obviously set himself tonight, and you spent plenty of time through the midfield with him as well. They were trying to get into him a little bit.
Yeah, he's a pretty tough-minded kid, but he submits himself to the team completely, so he was very happy to do it, and yeah, he did a great job. You know, they were getting into it at times, but he just stuck to his task and did his job for the team, which is what we asked of him.
Two very different styles between the Suns and the way you guys play. You almost gave them the short, uncontested kick, and then you force them long down the line. Is that how you wanted to generate a lot of your offence from the back half?
Yeah, a little bit. We sort of scouted them to switch and go sort of thing and go quick to the contest, which they didn't really do. So forced us to squeeze up and try and get those forward half turnovers, which resulted in a few opportunities throughout the game.
Well done, mate. Great win.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Cheers.
Well, the Saints led at every change. 12 points quarter time, 14 half time, and it was 8 points at three-quarter time. Gold Coast hit the front with only a few minutes to go for the first time in the match, and the Saints get it done by 3 points, their 5th win of the season. And the smiling assassin's looking at me like he's either tipped them or something's caught his attention. Jono,
knock, knock,
finish.
you go. Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Owen.
Owen who?
Owen the Saints. My turn in.
That's it. Wind it up. Wind it up. Let's go.
That's an 11 o'clock gag and he's dropped it at 10.
Oh, wow. Eddie told me that one. But no, look, it was a tale of two halves. It really was. Like, you can understand the frustrations with Damien Howie because they got themselves in front, but to St Kilda's credit, to fight that one out. Their first half, I thought, was very good. And you spoke at half-time about the defensive layers and their structure and exactly the way Ross Lyon would like them to play. That got broke open in the second half. A bit of fatigue, but also the way Gold Coast changed their game in terms of handball receives from behind, breaking through the defence with a bit more speed, really unsettled the Saints. But in the end, they were able to, they had enough of a gap to be able to then stay in the contest and then clinch it right at the end.
And it was interesting, Damien Hardwick just on shot there, Jack. For a split second,
it was filthy.
For a split second, there was a love affair going to be with Marvel Stadium because he doesn't like there, he doesn't ever like playing there, and he's taking the Suns there who haven't won on away for such a long time.
Honestly, I think he would regret the comment from a few years back about what happened when he spoke about, obviously when coaching the Tigers, spoke about Marvel Stadium, but it's a hoodoo for the Suns, and it's not just Marvel Stadium, it's anywhere away from the Gold Coast. They can't win away from home, so 0-6 now, 7-0, and if they want to make the finals, they're still in the 8 at the moment. They need to win away from home. It's a bit of a weird game, this one, so we sort of come away from it and we ask the question about the Saints is who are their identity? Like offensive and defensive profiles were not where I think they would have seen them being at the start of the season, especially with the offensive flair that they went and got from other football clubs. And we probably leave still not knowing what the Saints' identity is. Yep. And that's irrelevant, really, because they've got the 4 points in the interim, but they still need to figure out who they are. And we know that at the moment, the Gold Coast Football Club are a completely different football club in Queensland as they are away from Queensland.
And yeah, like you said, it's a gutsy win. It wasn't the best of footy tonight, but to get over the line like that was sweet. And listen to Jack Steele, like they had a plan, cut the head off the snake, and they went after Toot Miller. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah,
surprised Jack Steele said that they were expecting a different Gold Coast. I think we all were a little bit in that sort of fast-paced, sort of potentially longer style of play down the line, but just with a bit more pace, and we didn't see enough of that tonight. They've taken 137 marks, the Suns. 137 marks. That is astronomical, and that just screams of chipping the ball around slow football. Let's try and possess it and over-possess the Saints. And the Saints' defence held up strong. There wasn't many of those marks that were in the centre part of the ground, and that is the most important part of the ground if you want to get the ball.
Only 9 inside 50 marks though with the Suns, so that's what hurt them.
Yeah, they'll sing the song loud and proud, even though it was a gritty win. Still get to sing it for the 4 points.
Yep, well, that's 2 in a row for the Saints, so let's tune in now to them singing the song.
When the Saints go marching in, oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, I want to be St.Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, when the Saints go marching in, go marching in, oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, I want to be St.Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
There you have it, the Saints, their 5th win of the season, 2 in a row after losing 3, so it was in no man's land, but they've got themselves back on track in terms of wins and losses.